Hello there, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Vungo presenting you today's top stories as usual.
President welcomes South Australia Governor. Prime Minister visits symbols of Vietnam-Cambodia partnership. And later on, the World Bank highly evaluates Vietnam's climate projects.
President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc received Governor of South Australia State Francis Adamson in Hanoi on November 9th.
Congratulating Australia and the state on their development achievements, President Phuc affirmed that Vietnam always attaches great importance to promoting the strategic partnership with Australia. Phuc thanked the Australian government for its decision to increase official development assistance for Vietnam, saying it is a valuable support to help boost socio-economic development in remote areas in the Southeast Asian country. For her part, Governor Adamson expressed her delight at the development of the two countries' relations. South Australia is willing to collaborate with Vietnamese localities in implementing activities to protect the environment and respond to climate change, the governor stressed. She said she hopes for more cooperation activities to be organised next year when the two countries celebrate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of their diplomatic ties.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính is paying an official visit to Cambodia. Join us to see his activities on November 9th.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh on November 9th visited Cho Ray Phnom Penh Hospital and Medphone, an affiliate of the Viettel Industry and Telecoms Group, which are considered symbols of the Vietnam-Cambodia partnership. Established in 2014, Cho Ray Phnom Penh Hospital has 200 beds and 25 departments, with modern facilities and management technology, and personnel supported by Cho Ray Hospital in Ho Chi Minh City. PM Chin lauded the hospital's performance over the years in providing healthcare services to locals. He asked the hospital to focus on enhancing the quality of medical services and its personnel, and bettering its governance to reduce treatment cost for patients. Visiting Medphone, PM Chin hailed the firm's effective business operations over the past 13 years, as well as its active engagement in social welfare activities. Launched in 2009, Medphone has become the top telecommunications brand in Cambodia with more than 9 million customers, holding more than 40% of the local market share. The PM urged the firm to continue expanding its operation, improving service quality and increasing revenue, and further enhancing the value of the Medphone trademark not only in Cambodia but also in the region.
With an area of 3.5 million square kilometers and abundance of natural resources, the East Sea is the most important strategic maritime area in the world, an important hub connecting ASEAN countries and China, the second largest navigation channel in the world, with about 45% of the world's maritime trade passing through.
In the 1980s, sovereign disputes over sea islands in the East Sea escalated, forcing all parties to formulate documents to regulate the behavior of all parties concerned and to strive to resolve disputes through peaceful means.
The situation in the East Sea was very complicated in the 1980s and 1990s, and a document to regulate the behavior of all parties became necessary. Therefore, in 2000, ASEAN and China began negotiations on a code of conduct in the East Sea. However, because there were still differences between the two sides, the code of conduct in the East Sea could not be adopted and was replaced by a declaration on the conduct of parties in the East Sea.
ASEAN and China signed the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the East Sea (DOC) in Phnom Penh, Cambodia on November 4, 2002. This was an important breakthrough in resolving the East Sea issue and was the result of joint efforts by ASEAN and China. It's of great significance to maintaining peace and stability in the East Sea and the region as a whole. Over the 20 years since, disputes in the EC have continued to intensify, but the DOC remains key and has made substantial contribution to maintaining peace and order at sea.
The DOC is the only document where ASEAN and China have reached consensus on the East Sea issue. There are many differences between all parties involved, but the importance of maintaining peace, stability, and security in the East Sea is the consensus view of all parties.
It's the shared responsibility of ASEAN and China to fully and responsibly implement the DOC. However, because it's not legally binding, ASEAN and China must fully implement the DOC in a spirit of responsible cooperation and work towards a final goal of formulating the Code of Conduct in the EC, COC. Though there remain differences, the results of COC negotiations demonstrate the shared determination of both parties. Compared with 20 years ago, ASEAN and China are living in a time that has changed a great deal. A perfect COC cannot be reached overnight and requires that both parties continually strive to build trust and look forward to maintaining peace and stability in the region.
A Vietnamese delegation led by Minister of Natural Resources and Environment Trần Hồng Hà attended an event regarding reducing greenhouse gas emissions in response to climate change held by the World Bank Group on November 8th.
The event was organized on the sidelines of the 27th United Nations Climate Change Conference of Parties, COP27, in Sharm el-Sheikh City, Egypt. Speaking at the event, Minister of Natural Resources and Environment Trần Hồng Hà introduced Vietnam's projects, solutions, and roadmaps to delivering on climate change commitments with the World Bank. Vietnam has made necessary changes to connect and unite with countries in the process of implementing World Bank finance projects, he said. The minister stressed that the World Bank continue helping countries assess funds and issue a priority strategy for the next period. World Bank President David Malpass said Vietnam's projects had proven effective. The World Bank will continue partnering with Vietnam, particularly in climate change response, he said. Countries need to accelerate efforts to counter the fallout of climate change and speed up projects to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, he said.
Over 300 Sri Lankan nationals whose boat faced a serious incident in the waters of the province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu have been saved.
At 6 p.m. on November 6, the Myanmar flag fishing vessel Lady R3, which was carrying more than 300 passengers to Canada, broke down and drifted at sea about 258 nautical miles to the southeast of the province's Vũng Tàu Cape. Upon receiving the distress signal, the Region 3's Maritime Search and Rescue Coordination Center urgently searched the waters to find the fishing vessel. All the passengers on board were saved and handed over to Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu authorities on November 8th.
The Baton Border Guard Station in Sinh Ho District in the northern mountainous province of Lai Châu has joined hands with local authorities to help poor households develop the local economy, improve living standards, and stabilize lives in border areas.
This is a model pig breeding used by Giang Thị Hoa's family in Baton Thu Village, Baton Camille, Sinh Ho District in Lai Châu Province. The model is a joint effort between the Baton Border Guard Station, the Women's Union of the Phu Thọ Provincial Police, and the Women's Union of Việt Trì City in Phu Thọ. The model has helped Hoa's family and 23 other female members of the commune develop the household's economy. Guidance from border guards in building bonds and breeding methods and models have proven effective.
Thanks to support from the border guards at the Baton Border Guard Station and the Women's Union of Việt Trì City, the model has helped boost the income of my family, and I will do my best to expand the model.
with a model for economic development. The Patan border guard station has contributed to economic development in the border area.
In an attempt to have stabilized lives in the border area, station guards have regularly visited households in all villages to instruct people on applying technology in breeding. Many economic models have been developed effectively, helping to boost living standards in the locality. Practical efforts by the Patan border guard station have helped strengthen the belief of local people in the leadership of the party, state and local authorities, contributing to socio-economic development as well as safeguarding the country's sovereignty in border areas.
Along with seeking partnership in the UK and Europe, Vietnamese travel firms and localities attending the World Travel Market in London from November 7th to 9th have promoted the image of Vietnam as an attractive, friendly and safe destination.
The Vietnamese pavilion covers 250 square meters, spreading the message live fully in Vietnam to the event. This year, Vietnam focuses on popularizing sea tourism and the country's nature, culture and cities among European travelers, especially those from the UK.
The UK is a promising market for Vietnamese tourism, with visitors high spending at over $1,300 per day. Before the COVID-19 pandemic broke out, the number of British tourists to Vietnam rose about 20% each year.
Various activities have been held by the Vietnamese representatives during the event. Among other are those to connect with international partners, art performances and the introduction of the Vietnam National Tourism Year 2023, which is themed Binh Thuan, Green Tourism. The World Travel Market 2022 draws about 5,000 businesses from 182 countries, and is expected to attract some 51,000 visitors.
The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has developed a plan to build ecological museum models in an attempt to preserve cultural heritages in ethnic minority communities in association with tourism. With over 90% of its population being the ethnic minority people, Nghĩa Đô commune in Bảo Yên district, Lào Cai province has been selected to promote the model.
Knitting is one of the traditional trades of the Thai ethnic minority people in Nghĩa Đô commune. They have created a range of products from bamboo found in the local forest, creating eye-catching and useful items with their skilled hands.
I want our ethnic identity to be preserved and promoted. I also hope that more tourists can learn more about our knitting methods.
Along with knitting, the traditional weaving of the Thai ethnic minority people in Nghĩa Đô has also been preserved.
The initiative has helped preserve local Thai ethnic minority people's identity and their traditional crafts.
Still houses are another cultural feature of the Thai people in Nghĩa Đô to be preserved. There are currently more than 1,000 still houses in the commune, with most retaining their traditional characteristics. Beautiful natural scenery and a rich cultural identity from local cuisines, products and folk songs, games, and other factors have boosted tourism development in the locality.
Bảo Yên district has actively reviewed all cultural values, customs, and landscape architecture in the locality to develop traditional craft villages.
With more than 350 ethnic minority households opening homestays, community-based tourism has become associated with a national cultural identity that visitors to Lào Cai hope to discover when visiting.